friends, welcome back to my channel. I thought I would do a reading vlog, even though I basically just did two. I did one for Six of Crows and one for Crooked Kingdom. I'm trying to finish up my owls this week. Hopefully in the next couple of days. I have two more books to read for my owls. I'll go through it at the end because I do want to do a wrap up of my owls, because I never did a TBR or announced that I was participating. I'm not really going online and participating. I'm just kind of doing it on my own. I wanted to share with you the last two books for my owls that I have decided to read. I am currently reading Little and Lion, and I'm reading this for the contemporary story. And then I decided to read Heartstopper by Alice Osman, which is a plant on the cover. And I'm kind of, you know, breaking the rules, but all of these are leaves, which are part of plants. So there's leaves all over there, and then there's more leaves on the back, like on the tongues of his sneakers. So I'm using that for the plant on the cover. It is stretching it a little bit, but I need like a quicker read because I just want to complete my owls. I have had to read so much. I had to read 7 books. I'll tell you which profession I went for and all of that, and then I have to get ready for my N.E.W.T exam in August. Like I said, I'm currently reading Little and Lion. I'm actually not feeling well. Last night my husband and I went and grabbed Wendy's for dinner, and I got a side salad with ranch and a baked potato with cheese, and it came with chives on it too, which I didn't ask for, but whatever. And that's what I had for dinner. And then yesterday for lunch, I had a grilled cheese. And then I don't think I had any breakfast yesterday other than like some coffee. Yeah, I think that's really it. And I felt fine yesterday. I actually had a lot of energy and got a lot of things done yesterday. Like I said, I read all of Restore Me yesterday. But after we went to bed around 10:30, 11, something like that, between 10 and 11, and I woke up at like 12:30, and my stomach hurt so bad. I went to the bathroom and I was like digging around in my medicine cabinet, and I found Pepto-Bismol, and so I took some of that. And that helped me. I also heated up my heater pad, and that helped me get back to sleep. But yeah, I woke up this morning and I was still kind of feeling off. I just had 2 sticks of string cheese, and I'm also drinking my leftover strawberry lemonade from Wendy's last night. And let's see, I had 1 cup of coffee this morning, and that's it. So, oh, I also had some Ritz because I don't have any saltine crackers, and I know you're supposed to like eat saltine crackers for like an upset stomach or drink ginger ale, and I do have ginger ale, but I don't feel like drinking it. So I'm hoping that the Ritz will help a little bit, but I'm gonna go ahead and start reading, and I'll update you as I can. Okay, I need to get out of bed and like do something with my hair, but I am on page 118, so I'm about there. I don't know what percentage. If I add it into Goodreads, it will probably tell me. We can do that really quickly and see, but yeah, I think I want to like curl my hair because I am going over to my mother-in-law's house tonight for dinner. So it'll be nice just to have my hair done. And my husband should be home for lunch soon as well. So 118, 33%. So that's pretty good. So I'm curling my hair. I did about this much. I usually separate my hair into halves. And I decided to go ahead and pick up this because this is something that I can read really easily right here while I'm curling my hair. And this is how, when I read in the morning as I'm getting ready, this is how I do it. Like if I'm listening to an audiobook, I can just turn that on back here. If I'm reading a book, I can just prop it up back here while I do one curl, read a little bit, take it out, do another curl, and so forth. But I thought I would jump over to this because this should go fairly quickly. I'm already on page 49. So, and it's really cute. I wish it was in color, like, because I love the coloring on the cover. But it's like black and white. So, I mean, that's good too. But it's really cute art. And it's basically about one boy, Charlie, who is gay. And I guess he used to hook up with this guy named Ben. And then one day he gets paired, I forget what class it is, but he gets paired up to sit by Nicholas. And he's kind of like totally into Nicholas. And we don't know Nicholas's sexuality. But basically it seems like Charlie has a super crush on Nicholas, and that's pretty much all I know right now. So we'll see where it goes. I do know that this is only volume 1, and of course there's going to be other volumes. I believe the second volume comes out in a few months. I think it has the information towards the back of the book, but I don't want to turn to the back and spoil myself, so I'll just have to keep you updated. My hair is officially curled. It's a little dirty, but I'll probably just put some dry shampoo in it tonight. Let me adjust you. Okay, so I wanted to really quickly pop in and talk about Heartstopper. Heartstopper is about two boys that meet, become friends, and fall in love. And obviously my thoughts are coming from a white, married, heterosexual female's perspective. So even though I'm loving it and I think it's so cute, I highly recommend you check out Own Voices reviewers for this. I don't necessarily have any to link, but definitely with these types of books, anytime that I talk about LGBTQIA+ books, I always want you guys to seek out Own Voices reviewers. If you are an Own Voices reviewer for a particular book that I have talked about, I always want you to let me know, because I want to be able to link like your review for a particular book in the description box or in my video itself, like linking people, telling people to go check out your review, because I realize that a lot of my thoughts and feelings about this type of subject are just like the cuteness factor, not like if it's realistic or if it's meaningful or all of the things that someone with this particular experience can talk to you guys about. Okay guys, I just finished reading Heartstopper Volume 1 and I loved it so much. And what I also liked about it, I do not like where it stopped because it was just getting good. But this is the first book that I've ever read by Alice Oseman, and I found out at the back that these characters, Charlie and Nick, are actually from Solitaire. The main character in this is Tori Spring and her brother is Charlie. And in this one, Nick and Charlie are like in love. So I can't wait to see them in this story. I'm so excited now. Let me adjust you again. Crap. Okay, so what I loved about this is that it kind of starts slow, but it really picks up and it's just so cute. It has rugby, it has like friendships, and it has like, you know, not knowing your sexuality, and it's just, I don't know, I just loved it so much. Like I said, definitely look for Own Voices reviewers, but I can hardly believe anybody would not love this story. It also has like family bits in there and school bits in there. So all of a sudden it has the last little bit and you're thinking, oh my gosh, no. And then it says Heartstopper will continue in volume 2, and you can read more of the comic online at heartstoppercomic.tumblr.com, or this other one. And then it talks about like the school uniforms, the rugby uniforms. It has like a little mixed tape with a side A and side B and like all of the songs. And it has little diary entries from each of the characters from the same day, like their perspective. And then it has these little info cards about each of the main characters. So you get Charlie, Nicholas, Tao, Victoria, who is Tori from this book. So I actually got to know a little bit about her. And it has a couple of other characters too, but it says their name, their nickname, who they are like within this story, their school year, their age, their birthday, their gender, their sexuality, their Myers-Briggs trait, like, you know, what they are like. And then their Hogwarts house, which I thought was so cool to include. So Charlie is actually a Slytherin and Nicholas is a Gryffindor. And Tori, the main character from this book, is her Myers-Briggs, and mine is the same, INFJ. So yeah, it was just so cool to have that in there. And then in the little author's note right here, it says that these characters, Nick and Charlie, have been in our heart for a very long time. As many of you know, they both first appeared in my debut YA novel, Solitaire. Charlie is the younger brother of the narrator, Tori, and Nick is his doting protective boyfriend. Neither of them are particularly major characters, but in the novel, age 17 and 15 respectively, they are in a firm, loving, supportive relationship. That's where my desire to tell their story began. How did they get to this point, and where they go from here? So during her spare time and her A-levels, she would sketch things out, and her art just got better and better and better. I'm just so excited for the second volume now. And oh my gosh, look how cute they are. Yeah, look how cute they are. I just can't. And then yeah, I'm so excited to like read this now and get maybe a little bit of the story of Charlie and Nick. But yeah, so yay, I finished that. So I'm definitely gonna rate it 5 out of 5 stars. I loved it, and I can't wait for volume 2. And now I just need to jump back into Little and Lion. It's so beautiful and sunny outside that I think I want to take my book outside and read for a little bit, but I need to make an iced coffee. So I thought I would show you how I do that. So I fill it between the first and the second line of ice. Then I use oat milk. I'm currently using this one, O.W.L. This one is from Target, but I've tried different ones and like those about the same. I usually, whoa, I did way too much. So I usually stop here with my oat milk and then do the rest coffee, but I went to like the second line. Oh well, it'll be a little milky, which is fine. And then I do the rest with my coffee, and I don't fill it like obviously all the way up, but I'm almost out of this. This is the Starbucks iced coffee medium roast, and it's unsweetened. So I don't use any sweetener. I just rely on the milk. And this, I believe, and I just put a little bit on top. This is the original. So let's see how much sugar. 7 grams from natural. It's like no added sugars. But there are some oat milks that say like unsweetened, and I'm not sure about that. So anyway, this is my iced coffee. It's pretty dark. It's usually lighter than this, but I usually like a really light coffee. But I usually use like oat milk or half and half. This is just what I had on hand. So when I can't go outside, one of the best things to do is for me to lay in bed and just like open this back door, because it has a screen on it and it looks outside into our yard, and it still lets in the fresh air, and I can lay right over there and read. So that's what I'm gonna do, let in some fresh air, read for a little bit. And it's almost 3 o'clock, so I think I'm just gonna try to read as much as I can before my husband gets home, because like I said earlier, we're going over to my mother-in-law's house, but we're gonna go over there for pizza tonight, and I am hungry. So there's my bathroom. That's why you can see me back there. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna read as much as I can, then I'll head over to my mother-in-law's tonight. So I'll check in with you guys, like, if anything new and different happens in my book. Hey guys, I just wanted to chat with you about Little and Lion. This is kind of cutting me off, but it's what we're working with. My husband should be home any minute because it's 4:43, so if this gets cut short, that is why. So I'm about 60% in to Little and Lion, right about here, and it's a good story. I like it. It's dealing with a lot of hard-hitting topics, blended family, interracial blended family. So here's the sister, here's the brother, here's Little, here's Lion. And that's not their real names. His name is Lionel and her name is Suzette. But they have a really cool family dynamic. They're Jewish, and she is most likely bi, but there's no label put on it, but it seems like she likes girls and guys, but she's trying to figure out, was it just the one girl from school? Her brother is bipolar, and he randomly went off his meds and he told his sister, but he's wanting her to keep it a secret. So she's trying to watch out for the signs that, oh no, something needs to be done, or she needs to tell her parents. But this is basically happening over a summer, and then at the same time, it's not that she's trying to like hide that she likes girls, but she's kind of into this guy, but she kind of likes this girl that she works with, but her brother went out on a date with the girl that she kind of has a crush on. And everybody is accepting of the sexuality and stuff like that, and it's going a lot into detail about the sexuality, about being Black, and it's talking a lot about the mental illness, and it's kind of flashing the present and the past, how things were before, and I am enjoying it, but with all of the hard topics that it's dealing with, I wish I was loving it more. Oh, and I just noticed, look at this, like I match my book. I haven't noticed that all freaking day, and I'm just now noticing that I matched my book. I'm just looking. Okay, so I wish I was loving it more than I am. I'm not saying it's not talking about important things. It seems like it's handling it really well. I like that so many things are being handled, and I like that it has like family dynamics, friendship dynamics, sexuality, mental illness, blended family, like all of the things, all of the diversity. But with everything that these two characters are going through, I don't quite care enough. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. It's not that I don't care, because I feel like anybody that has to deal with these types of things, like, there's more going on than I can ever relate to, but I don't feel like we have enough. I didn't get to know these characters enough to care yet, and I almost wish that there were more back then parts, so I could get to know them before all of this stuff started happening. And maybe that's why there's the then sections, to like let us get to know the characters more. But at this point, with only 40% left, I don't know. I feel like this should be a 5-star book for everything that it talks about. Beautifully insightful, honest, compassionate, larger meaning in the small moments, stunningly good, superbly written, meaningful depth, perfectly balanced by romance and the languorous freedom of summer. Like, I feel like I should be loving this so much more than I am, and I don't know if I'm just being critical or like I mean, the writing is good. I'm obviously getting through it quickly, but I just don't care enough, even though they're dealing with hard issues. Does that make sense? So I don't know about this one yet, you guys. Reserving judgment, as always. Good morning. It is 6:22, and I'm up at the butt crack of dawn. I don't know why this light thing happens. Maybe that helps. Oh my god. It is 6:22 in the morning, and why am I up at the butt crack of dawn on my spring break? Because my dog's crazy, and she wanted me up for some reason. Maybe she was hungry for breakfast, so I fed her, and I actually just went ahead and got a cup of coffee because I've decided that I'm going to read the end of Little and Lion, and that will wrap up my owls for this month, and I can sit down and talk to you about it. I didn't get home until after 9 o'clock last night, so I didn't get to read too much, but I'm on page 292, and it goes 327, so about 30-40 pages left. It's too early to do the math, but yeah, I got some coffee. I'm gonna read the rest of this, and then I'll check in with you guys later, wrapping up my owls. Okay guys, I'm here because I finished my last book of my owl exams, and I am on my way to be a Hogwarts professor. So if you don't know, I am a teacher in real life, and so when the Magical Readathon was introduced and I could choose from wizarding careers, I obviously wanted to see if I could be a Hogwarts professor. So here are the professions, and there's a whole bunch of information about each profession, curse breaker, and all of that. And I decided that I wanted to be a Hogwarts professor. I was going to challenge myself. Page 11. Okay, so here is all about the Hogwarts professor. And it says the key traits are patience, authority, dedication, sense of responsibility, and humor. And then for the owls, you have to pass 7 owls in total. So you have to read or study and pass a subject you wish to teach, defense against the dark arts, and 5 additional subjects of your choice. So I went with that, and I have my 7 total owls right here. And then there's another page that actually tell you which type of book you have to read according to what you're studying and taking a test on. So I did Charms, I did Transfiguration, I did Care of Magical Creatures, and then I did History of Magic, Defense Against the Dark Arts, that was obviously, I had to do that, and then Herbology and Muggle Studies. And I think I want to teach either Care of Magical Creatures or Herbology. I think those are the 2 that I would most be interested in to teach. So let's go through the books. I'm not going to talk to you like too much about it because I just want this to be my owls wrap up, and then I want to talk to you more about these individual books actually in my end of the month wrap up. The first book that I read is The Kind Worth Killing by Peter Swanson. This stood in for my Charms class, and it was the age line read an adult work. So this is an adult thriller novel, and I quite enjoyed it. So that was the first book. Next up, I started participating in Fantasy-a-thon, and this was my goal, to read Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, and you've seen me vlog both of these reading experiences, so you kind of already know how I feel about these. I read this one for the Transfiguration, which is the sprayed edges or the red cover, but I went with the sprayed edges, of course. And then Crooked Kingdom could either be the land animal on the front, or it could be so Care of Magical Creatures, the land animal on the front, or Potions, the next ingredient, because it's the sequel to Six of Crows. But I think I'm gonna go with Care of Magical Creatures, land animal on the front. And like, maybe you don't consider a crow a land animal, but it kind of is, so I'm counting it. The fourth book, History of Magic, a book published 10 years ago, at least 10 years ago. I finally read The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. This is a book that ever since I read The Giver, my mom kept saying, like, if you liked The Giver so much, and every time I described the world of The Giver, she always wanted me to read this. And she said that she remembers it and it kind of stuck out in her mind. And so I tried to pick it up once before from the library. I never could get into it, but I finally picked it up again at the book exchange for only like $8, and I was like, I'll finally have a copy. And I read it, and I have a lot of thoughts on this, so I'll save those for my wrap up. But I read this for, I've already said, my History of Magic, because this was published more than 10 years ago. I think it was published in 86, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. 1986. One thing that was kind of holding me up is I had to pick a subject to teach. So that was pretty easy because I would have basically taught any of them. But I had to take Defense Against the Dark Arts because obviously that's really important to know being a teacher at Hogwarts, or being a professor at Hogwarts. So I had to pick a book that started with R, and it had a lot of the, and then it started with an R, like The Rose and the Dagger, or, you know, things like that, like The Raven Boys. But I was trying to find one that like didn't have the word the, so it could just literally start with the word R. And what book did I choose? Restore Me by Tahara Mafi. I actually have 2 copies of this book. I have the one signed by the author, and then I have the Barnes & Noble like exclusive bonusing book. This is the one that my friend Penelope sent me, and I'm so glad she did. It's signed right here. Yeah, so I read Restore Me, which was great because I know like newer books are out in the series and I want to get them. But yeah, I finally read Restore Me, and this counted for my Defense Against the Dark Arts because it starts with R. I kind of maybe stretched the book like prompt a little bit. It says for herbology to read a book with a plant on the cover, and herbology is something else that I kind of wanted to read, but I didn't know if I would get through 2 full novels because I'm so into reading other books and another video idea and all of that. So I picked a graphic novel, and it has like leaves on it, and those are part of a plant. I think leaves are important to study because it tells you a lot about a plant anyway. So it does have leaves on it. They have them on their shoes on the back, and they have them all right here at the bottom a little bit. And this graphic novel was a nice quick read, so I read this for my herbology test. And then the last one that I read, I just finished reading. My most recent read is Little and Lion by Brandy Colbert, and I read this for my contemporary book, which is Muggle Studies. So I actually did learn a lot about Muggle Studies in this, and I'll give you my full thoughts like in my wrap up, but I ended up rating it 3 stars, well 3.5 stars, but I'll tell you all about that in my wrap up. And I really hope that you stay tuned for my wrap up, even though I've kind of told you the stuff that I've read, because I really do have some thoughts about these books. But I completed my owls, and I'm so happy because I was kind of worried that I was like putting too much on my plate with the fantasy-a-thon and stuff, but I managed to do it. So in August is N.E.W.T, and I have my little booklet here. So I passed all my owls, and now I just have to worry about the N.E.W.T, and I don't really understand. So anyway, if you don't know anything about this whole readathon or the owls or anything like that, I'll link information down in the description box of this video. I just think it's really fun, especially if you like love Harry Potter and Hogwarts and that whole magical, like, I don't know. I've just been thinking a lot about Harry Potter and Hogwarts and stuff like that lately, probably because I'm participating in this. But I loved the guidebook. You get the letter as well, like the acceptance letter, and it has also has like the little list, so you know like what you need to read and stuff like that. But I had so much fun, and yeah, I passed my owls, so yay. But anyway, that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're all having a lovely day, and I'll see you guys again in my next video. Bye.